So, my friend Arlo has brought me here to speak on an issue. I don't know. I'm very intrigued. There's been a life-changing experience in the past 24 hours. And I don't know what it is, so he's going to go ahead and explain.
So, last night I overdosed on marijuana to the point that I lost motor function in my body and vomited 4 times in the stairwell.
You're lying.
I'm not lying. I have video proof on my phone. We have Ring camera footage of me vomiting in the stairwell. I lost motor function in my body and I genuinely tweaked the fuck out.
Now I have a quick question. What did it feel like? If you could describe it in 4 words.
In 4 words?
4 words.
I entered the sublime. No, it was actually insane. It was like I actually like greened out.
I'm sorry. You threw up 4 times.
Yes.
For what? That's not how that marijuana should work. How much did you take?
I took a lot. I took a lot.
Like with who?
With Jazz, Dominic, and Lennox. So there was a lot of things that happened while I was in that state, but I was on that high for 4 hours.
Well, I've never been, so tell me.
I was high for 4 hours like that, and I was afraid to go to sleep.
Yes. Okay.
Reality became a meditation.
You were afraid to go to sleep? Is that how that works?
Bro, you don't understand the state of mind I was in. Reality became a meditation. I exited first person. Like I was in third person.
Yeah, I've done that before. Like
it was only when I focused on something or on a person in relation to me that I could come back to, like the world as I have it sorted out. But when I just followed thoughts, right? And this supports things that I've said in the past, but when I just followed my thoughts, everything just became connected. I felt like I understood everything. And then I would turn to like Jazz or something to try and explain it. And when I spoke, that's when I would come back into the world, right? Because I was sharing something about myself. Anytime I shared or I tried to conceive it, that's when I would leave it. And I went inside, I grabbed my guitar, I started playing the guitar, and I became the music. I had complete loss of identity.
Yeah, I bet you couldn't play it.
No, I was playing great, but I couldn't feel my body. It was just the music, and it was happening in slow motion.
You remembered it, but you forgot it. It
was happening in slow motion, but the rhythm and the music was the same. So I could see the strings vibrating with such detail. I could see the dust flying with each strum, and I entered a world, right? And I remember saying, the world is a beautiful place if you make it one, because everything became a meditation. It was whatever I focused on. So when I focused on the beautiful song that I was playing, everything became beautiful, and the suffering that was once suffering, because I was terrified. Like if you watch the videos of me, I was genuinely like panicking. I smacked the shit out of Lennox. No,
No, you didn't.
No, I did. You can ask them. We were walking out. They took me for a walk because I needed fresh air, and
yeah.
they had to like hold me up. I could not. I lost motor function in my body, and Lennox.
How much fucking shit did you?
And Lennox was fucking with me, right? So he was.
Well, this is not his first time.
He was like messing with me, taking me on a trip, saying like, "Oh, the world's gonna end, whatever, blah 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 blah." I fucking smacked the shit out of him, and I said, like, I needed space. I became everything that was around me.
Oh, and that's not good. That's not.
I left the world.
Yeah, that's not good.
And another thing. Oh my God, there were so many things. What was it I was talking about before? I said that I smacked the shit out of Lennox.
People operate a motor vehicle while they're high. Think how scary that is.
Very scary.
Think about how real world issues now affect what you become the things around you. Exactly. You think when you drive high. You think
I can't describe what it's like to lose sensation in your body and lose control of it. I couldn't move. There was a period of time I couldn't move my body.
That sounds nice.
But I became my legs.
Yeah, it's like trying to see at your elbow.
No, it was so weird.
Yeah.
I became a part of my body. I wasn't my consciousness anymore. And another, I'm just laying it out right here, and then we can go into all the stuff. But I'm laying you out all the things that happened.
Okay, yes, please, thank you.
I was going on some big ass philosophical rants, and I made sure to record them because I was having so many insights.
You're still self-conscious though because you chose to record. So yeah.
I was talking about true desire, and what it truly meant to desire something, what it truly meant to want something, and no joke. When I spoke about what I want, when I said the word want, I made a gun shape with my hand, and I couldn't not do it, and I would go like this. And I would point it at Lennox. And I kept thinking about murdering Lennox. I'm not even... I was actually fucking scared of myself. I kept thinking about murdering Lennox when I talked about my true desires.
Yeah, it's the same thing
I kept going like this. And I was talking about fucking killing Lennox.
Well,
and
because...
I wrote something about... I wrote a lot of things. I might read this out to you. I wrote... Did my will to speak in absence of a composed being reveal a nature to destroy and revolt against what suffering it loves and obsesses? Or maybe it wills to be profound in suffering's contrast. Murder is the entrance. A will to kill is a will to share the one true wisdom. In death be loss of desire and unknown. But to want it hurts, not achievement, which is numb.
So did you just wake up? Like I'm trying to think about this logically. How much did you smoke it or eat it?
Both.
Oh hell no! That you shouldn't combo.
I did.
You should never combo. I don't think Lennox would ever combo. I think you were the only person that night that did that. Why? What was the intent? Was the intent for reflection, learning, or for...
I wanted to see what it would do to me, because I've never really been high like that before.
Oh, you wanted to see what it would do to you.
It was the most... I wish I wrote while I was in that state of mind, because I was having such good thoughts.
Oh.
It was painful, though. It was scary.
If you wanted to be scared, you could have done something else.
It was just so interesting being able to focus on something and become just fully absorbed into it.
I mean, yeah, that's what it does because it's kind of
but like being hyper fixated on like a human being, I felt like I could truly see into them.
Yeah, most likely because you're in a depressed state just as they are.
I called it movie mode, the mode that I was in. It felt like I was waking up from a dream every 5 seconds.
That sounds funny though.
It was so scary. I was genuinely panicking, and I couldn't eat.
No, you can't.
I tried to eat, and I was chewing this one piece of food for like an hour. I was geeked out of my fucking mind. No, like I'm gonna show you the videos, and I'm probably gonna put them in the video too because I was fucking bro.
You were fucking bro.
Mhm.
Yeah. So
I also think I felt true love for the first time.
Do not tell me you kissed Lennox.
No.
Felt true love.
No, but I don't mean that in a weird way. It wasn't love. It wasn't love out of desire for affection or anything. So Jazz.
I
love her. And I want you to consider my words very carefully when I say that because I don't mean I love her in the way that you would typically say, you know, socially that you love a woman like oh I love her, I want to kiss her, I want to hold her, I want to that stuff. But genuinely just on a human level, like as a person, she was expressing because I was telling you I could become fully absorbed into people.
Yeah.
And I was sitting out with her, and we were having this conversation because she came outside to make sure I was okay because I needed to get some fresh air. We brought out like chairs and stuff.
Yeah. At your house?
No, this was at her house.
Okay.
And she like very much opened up, and she made me appreciate myself. She was saying how I'm such an intricate, such a philosophical person. Like I inspire her so much. Like she's never met somebody so She just couldn't put words on it. She just went on this rant.
Last time me and David were hanging out at Hannaford's, well, you guys were doing that. That's just a funny coincidence.
She made me like myself so much. Like, she made me appreciate, like, I don't know.
Maybe a sense of motherly belonging type.
It felt like the first time someone's genuinely appreciated me. And everything that I've worked for over the last 2 years, 3 years. I don't know how to explain it.
The best way I can explain it is relief from regret. Because you wouldn't, if you felt you really made yourself appreciate yourself, regret was not there. So maybe what the drug did is it removed.
It wasn't though, because I felt this way too when I was sober. Because I don't know. It just feels good to be appreciated as a person. I don't think that it's different than any feeling I've experienced before, and it's not sexual desire or anything. Like, I don't.
Right.
I just want to be friends with her.
Mm.
But I genuinely, I think I love her as a person. Like, she made me appreciate myself in a way that no one's ever made me appreciate myself.
Mm. And did you explain this to her?
Not yet.
Mm. Well, I think, like, non-sexually, like, you can love a person, like, 100%.
That's why I'm saying that it's true love.
It's like,
because
it's like, it's like a motherly love.
I've never felt this way about a person, but at the same time not had the desire to, like, be with them, you know what I mean? Because I've always associated love with relationships and things, you know, that's typically where it arises. But this is something completely different on such a deeper level.
Yeah, well, because you weren't in the state of mind you normally are. You kind of went down to a human level.
It was such a human level.
Because you turn into, you kind of did turn into Dominic Lennox and Jazz. Because you said you came.
I did. I
lost
my identity.
Yeah.
But when I shared it, that's the thing that I find interesting. You know, I've been on that rant before about those who know do not speak, those who speak do not know.
Mm.
Right? It's a common notion that wise people do not share, right? And you know, if my whole theory of the sublime, you know, things have a cyclic nature pattern, and that's another thing that goes back to when I was playing the music, how the rhythm, the pattern stayed the same for me, but everything else changed. And then escaping that, what I was saying about the murder and stuff and death, when you truly pass over that sort of pattern of everything going around in circles, and then that's the sublime.
Maybe it came to...
That's truth, and in death you can't share. And it's when you can't share that you truly understand. I was seeing relations between all sorts of things. I was seeing relations between, you know, the Coke bottle that was on, like the Coca-Cola that was on the table, and the table itself. I was making metaphors and analogies and symbolism between things that you would never imagine making a profound statement about, like your air conditioner and your wall.
I have to put it in my head because I can't put it out of my words because, like I said, I've never been high, but anyone who has maybe will understand this a little bit
I think you should try it.
But he's doing the peer pressure tactic.
No, like, genuinely, not even on some weird shit.
When I get older,
I know so much about myself now.
Maybe you can do it without overdosing.
Here's the thing that confuses me though, because I've always labeled things like drugs as a false sublime. You know, they're the ones that leave you craving more. I don't feel like it was though. I think it's.
But you don't want more. You are satisfied.
I do sort of want more.
So then it is a false sublime.
Yeah, but don't you always want more of the true sublimes too?
Yeah, but you can't get it. It's achievable versus unachievable. I was thinking when you said
exactly, and then death is the true achievement of that.
I was thinking when you said about death, how like maybe it's like you have no emotion.
I think that sublime is circumstantial.
I was thinking like maybe what if we had it all wrong? What if the circle doesn't divert? What if it's just a pause and you just stay in one spot, the circle, and don't move, and your sequential pattern stops when you're in that state of mind?
No, you become the circle. You're not. We think of things going around in a circle. You become the circle itself.
That's what I mean by stop.
Yeah, it stops.
It just stops in the circle. And while the whole world goes
I like
around
that.
you are paused. The
You're
circle does
paused.
keep
You're
moving.
paused, but also a part of it, because if you're still, then you constitute movement.
That's what I mean. The world is still moving. You are frozen. That's the weird thing about drugs, especially that drug, since it is a depressant. It's almost like you are frozen with the people around you. Because you're not not thinking about what you're gonna do next week.
Such an experience.
I don't know. But you feel
The
like-
only thing that remains is a will to share.
Yeah, I guess. But you feel different about this experience than when you used to actively do drugs, like bad and were addicted. This is different.
This is much different. I've never been high like that. When I say like I took a lethal, like I lost motor function in my body. I took so much.
You took a leaf.
Probably more.
Why? What? Did you think you could handle that?
Well, she gave me more than I thought I was taking.
Well, because it's supposed to be, I think, a gram for 100 pounds. So, you should not have taken a lot.
Well, if each edible was like 500 milligrams,
How many did you take?
like 3.
Yeah, you're over. You're over.
And then I was, yeah.
Yeah. If it was just 3, maybe you'd be fine. Your blood content level would still be off. And it would still get into your flow.
I 100% greened out though. I was researching it, that like symptoms and stuff. I 100%. I don't know. I can't put words on it. It was just amazing, and I wanted to share it, and I wanted to do it all in one take. That's why I contacted you on such short
Right.
notice, because I want to get these thoughts out as they come,
Right.
and I don't want to filter it and try and make it something conceivable. Because as soon as you lay it out and you make it something all nice and pretty, it kind of loses the
Well, it
meaning.
can't be conceivable because
It
you're not
kind
in
of
a
it kind
state.
of loses the absurdity of the whole thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, you can't be in a state of different reality when I'm trying to talk to you in a different state. You know what I mean? I can't talk to you if you're high and I'm sober. So it'd be like talking to a brick wall. You're not going to understand because you become the people around you. And if you try and become somebody who's not you, if I try and become a dead person, think like a dead person, I can't do that.
You know, we could also talk interestingly about tone and stuff. When I was playing different strings on the guitar, I went into a full trance. Just plucking
Even
one,
just plucking
just plucking one string at a time. I
like
was
the simplest method.
I was like-
to getting a guitar.
I was out.
What? But you hit the Eddie ate dynamite. Goodbye, Eddie. Okay.
Lennox was fucking me over too.
Wow.
I don't think you understand like how bad it was. Like,
No, I
he
don't.
took the guitar and he started playing one string, and like saying shit to me, and I left. He took me on a trip.
He hit the ding ding booga booga.
Yes. It's not even funny. And then they put on regular show and Adventure
That's
Time,
pretty
and I
funny. That's pretty funny,
bro.
though.
They could have fucked with me much worse than they did. I'm very glad that they.
And it could have been not marijuana, and you could have taken mushrooms.
I thought I got laced with the way I was feeling. I thought that there was fent in it.
No, Fenton, you would have died.
No, I actually.
No.
It was insane. It made me scared of drugs too. It made me want to completely abandon that and
Yeah.
never do it again.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I sort of have a propensity to do it again.
Well, are you thinking like
Because
how
that
Dominic
state-
thinks? Like,
that
I want
kind
to
of
try every
wisdom-
single drug in the world.
No. I'm not a dumbass. But I don't know. It was so profound. Everything was lining up. Like I was giving my monologues. And
Well, I'd
stuff.
rather it be something to learn from than to destroy from. So.
Mm-hmm. And I was saying all men by nature desire to know. And Lennox pointed out like I was standing next to a tree or something, and it was like, oh, I'm by nature. And I started like
Bro said, I'm
Touching
making
the-
comparison.
touching the leaves on the tree and shit. I was.
How did you even get to that scenario? Were you like, oh, let's get together and do drugs? I was so confused. Or did it just follow?
Well, we had a sleepover, and
I see. shit went uphill pretty quick.
Yeah, bro.
Oh, I can't. Okay.
I don't know. It was so interesting to like genuinely tweak. You know, like it was really some out of the movie shit. You know, when you see the movies that over exaggerate like people being high and stuff, and it's like, oh,
Yeah.
you know, it's not really like that. No, it is really like that.
Oh yeah, it is. It depends how much you take.
It is really like that if you take enough. I was genuinely tweaking, like I was doing actions that I was not in control over.
But he
Like
started
this
playing
shit.
Fortnite.
I kept making the fucking.
Let's be honest, chat. How long were you on Fortnite last night? But he said I was hitting 90s.
No, the Fortnite actually had me tweaking out though.
I don't know.
They were playing Fortnite on the
Oh
screen,
no!
bro.
And they were like cracking, and you were like,
I was in the game. Anything I stared at, I
my
became
ranked
completely
teammates,
into it.
bro. My ranked.
The nostalgia was insane. When they put on Adventure Time,
I know.
the high nostalgia.
Yeah. Peaked emotions.
Yeah, I kept coming in and out of like basically a daydreaming state. That's the perfect way to describe it. It was like I was daydreaming,
But
but I was consciously daydreaming.
you ever sleep with your eyes
I
open?
was
Is it
watching
like
myself in third person daydream.
that? Oh. So like you could see the back of your head. The eye in the back of your head theory.
Sort of.
I see. Do you think that's divine intervention? Maybe it was meant to be, because if
It
so,
certainly felt.
if the plant was created, right? Because it's just a plant. I'm gonna ignore any other drugs that they put in the chemicals now, where you can go on a fucking dick. I mean pen. On the bus, but you actually like did the natural stuff.
It was clean stuff too. It wasn't like.
That's way different. You're not gonna get tweaking on a cart. You're not like Mahesh or anyone else.
No.
Because that's like an actual plant, so that's weird because like animals eat those plants.
Would you like me to read aloud what I wrote?
Mhm.
Just unfiltered. So I don't know. I wrote this. I didn't read it over, so I don't really care how it sounds. Last night I had a sleepover, and I greened out fully. I overdosed on weed enough to lose motor function, the ability to conceive time and chains of events, and vomit into the stairwell. Vomit 4 times.
Pause.
stairwell.
Conceive chains of events.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was saying, the sequence. You had it still. You still were thinking about
I
it.
lost the sequence, but I
Right.
couldn't follow anything. Time was so weird.
It wasn't a dive art. You stopped. Because think about it. This was not a sequence. This doesn't have a time on it. It has a date. It doesn't have a time. The date is not a time. The date is a location. So So you actually were paused.
Mm-hmm.
So keep going.
It was terrifying, but I think I truly entered the sublime, at least closer than ever before. I genuinely tripped and faded into nothingness for 4 hours. Everything became symbolic and indistinguishably meaningful. I philosophized in lyrical bliss. Reality became a meditation. In fact, it truly is. When I silenced and observed and entered the thoughts, the wisdom and the connection of all things, I lost my identity and floated in profoundness. But when I shared, when there was a focal point of meditation, I came back to me. When I attempt to conceive wisdom, I deafened the silence of relation. Then I played music. God, I should have written. And I became the music. I focused and entered a world I created, and I only conceived it because Lennox shared it. I was hyper-focused, numb, the chords playing without me. I felt and saw every piece of dust fly when I strummed. I felt the vibration of the strings and watched them in slow motion with the same rhythm of music. And I underlined rhythm because I think it's very important. Pattern, rhythm, connection, I could feel but not advocate. I moved my meditation into the guitar. The pain ceased as my suffering became bliss. It's a beautiful world when you make it one. Loss and the desire emerged. The next important event was my genuine tweak. I spoke aloud of the desire when I said I want uncontrollably. I uncontrollably formed a gun with my right hand and pulled on the supposed trigger with my left. Thoughts appeared in my mind of Lennox when I did this. In truth, I hyperfixated on an image of him and felt a compulsion to murder. Did my will speak in absence of of a composed being and reveal a nature to destroy and revolt against what suffering it loves and obsesses, or maybe it wills to be profound in suffering's contrast. Murder is the entrance, a will to kill is a will to share, the one true wisdom. In death be loss of desire, unknown, but when it hurts, not achievement, which is numb. I could fully absorb into people in the world. And then this is the part about how I think I love jazz. Not in like a weird... It feels so weird to say that, but it's true.
Not weird.
I'll read it out.
It's motherly love.
Think I am in love with jazz as well. Not necessarily in a sexual and I want her type of way, but genuinely as a human. She expresses admiration for me like no other. She makes me love myself the way I ought to. I ought to truly love life. She appreciates me as me and values the person I have become. I inspire her in a true, complex human way. I love her, and that doesn't mean relationship shit like I said, but really just as a person I love her truly. I am so glad to be friends with her. And then there's just more stuff about like just trying to describe it. I said I felt like I entered movie mode. I came in and out of third, second, and first person, only first in relation to me. It was blurred like waking up from another dream every 5 seconds. True presence. I said this causes me to rethink, because that was truly sublime and will have much further implication upon predication. So I have a lot to think about. I'm probably going to go for some long walks. You seem like you have a lot to say too. Share.
So I wrote some stuff down just from listening. So I wrote down the sequential pause. This also happens in dreams. The sequential pause happens in your REM state of thinking. When you go into a dream state of mode, what you do is you almost have, well, not you. Let me say this. Your emotions tune down to a very natural level where you think about reproduction, death, murdering for survival, and being strong. That's why people say 3 a.m. motivation, because when you're in that REM state, you have that like, get up and go, like fight, like it's a masculine urge, but it's also a natural urge. So that's where I put in the dreams relation to thinking. So when you're in that state of thinking, you have third person views into relation to the man's surroundings. In your dream, your surroundings are little to none, actually very to none, because you're in your bed or wherever you're sleeping. And in a dream, the only dreams I've had have been in first and third person. I've never had a secondhand experience in a dream ever. I don't even think it's possible. But have you? I can't think of a time. It's very hard to think two-dimensionally in a three-dimensional universe.
I don't know. The way I felt when I was high, it felt kind of like a dream.
Right. So circular. Pattern circular. When you have a sequential pause in your way of thinking. So that's the stuff I wrote down, and the false sense of belonging. False sense of belonging comes with if you had issues before and now they're leading into something else, which causes another issue and then another issue, and it's kind of a spiral down rather than up. You can have an upward spiral, but this would be a downward spiral where, I feel belonging, I feel this, and then you go down and stop doing stuff that you normally do.
So I have a video to share, and I'll put it up on screen and stuff. But the moment when it actually, like, fucking hit me, and this was the most insane moment of them all, because it's so weird watching it happen to myself, but I genuinely, things were going, like, blurry, and I was coming, like, I imagine my consciousness is sort of like a ball. I was coming into my head and then out and into Jazz's perspective and then into Lennox, and I was, like, not there. So when you watch it, I was... It started out with a lot of laughter, and then it quickly turned pretty serious. And let me find the one.
Bacon pancakes.
Making pancakes? Oh, wait. You guys want pancakes? No. No?
This is where you see me?
I still see you in you though.
Nah, you're not in a minute.
Cause you said pancake. Oh hell no.
There it is. Watch. I lost it. This is where I was genuinely freaking out. So this is where my consciousness was going like in and out. And I might like animate that sort of. It was coming in and out. Felt like I kept waking up from a dream like multiple fucking times.
They definitely overdid you on some shit. I've seen this before.
Oh, you wanna go sit down? Oh, come on. You wanna go sit down? Oh my god, his eyes was crying.
Yeah, I started crying and shit.
Lennox is fucking laughing so hard.
You wanna go sit down?
So here's the part where I genuinely start like tweaking.
Because it looks like you're playing a
Wait,
video game character.
No, she's starting to play me. Yo, what the fuck?
Milk.
You can't drink milk.
You can't drink milk.
No, it's actually not even funny.
Okay, come here.
Jamaican cool. Yo, she
I can't. This is too funny. Lennox, bacon. You like pancakes?
So they went and sat me down and I was freaking out in there.
I can't even feel my body. I just want to feel this moment. Yeah, that's what is this correlation, bro?
I told you everything was correlating.
Yeah, that
It was
that
truly
is weird.
divine.
That's what I said, divine. I don't know how that would happen. Do you hear that? Even I see that from outside. I can't
So then
feel
this
my
happened,
body. I just
and
wanna
then
feel this moment.
I'm pretty sure I got Jazz on here like freaking out, cause this kept recording.
I've never spoken with somebody that's that.
Yeah, I actually smoke by myself. I don't smoke with my parents. I smoke by myself.
So you're not used to having somebody you know, I smoke with.
Dominic is just his normal self. Is this guy always high?
Don't talk about reading out because it's stress out. Alright? It's chill. He's not gonna read out, but he's zooted, okay? He is what I was like in math class when I hit.
Do you hear me?
You're in the background.
In class, I was acting like that.
I did actually green out though. He said I wouldn't.
They all zooted. They gonna fall asleep. We can fuck with them.
Oh my god, I'm still recording.
I still say that.
So here's me yapping.
actually greening out. I'm actually out right now. So I was thinking outside, and when I follow the thoughts, I can't.
She's just shaking her head and walked away.
If I follow the thoughts, I can't stay in this world. But when I speak,
You have such a low
I go
tolerance.
back.
What is happening?
The willful nature to share the deafening of the silence.
What is so funny? Why are you so happy? The definition.
If I focus on reality, is there. I have entered the sublime.
It's supposed to be depressing.
I can't.
Why are you so happy?
I've entered the sublime. Because if I focus, stop making fun of me. If I don't focus,
Are those single mozzarella sticks?
Those are fish sticks.
Oh.
people by nature desire to share, and those who are wise do not share.
Jazz seems like she's just normal.
To enter the sublime,
Nah, I hit her later.
I don't know.
to be in reality is to desire.
Oh, right there. She has a hesitation. You saw that? Her hand started shaking. On the nod.
Oh, and we ding dong ditched your house, by the way.
I know. I was there. I was literally looking outside. I was like, what does this kid need now?
Anyways, you have any theories? Anything you want to propose?
I didn't really write anything down except the first part you mentioned of the ball consciousness.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you guys are not familiar with the term of consciousness, where you think of everything as like squares and circles and shapes and like pins and stuff, I'm gonna give an example that I've never talked with anybody about. When I was 10 years old, I have a vivid memory, very vivid, very. No, I'm gonna say this, but it's very demure. It's very serious, because it was so scary yet so comforting. I went to bed and I like felt like this indescribable feeling. It was like, I can remember it now, but it will take me a long time to get that feeling again. It's a really, really, really scary feeling, almost like your feeling, but way worse. Because my anxiety was to the point where my blood pressure would go through the roof, and it was like I would freak out. My heart would be racing. I actually like thrown up from anxiety. I just want to like fight everyone, because when I was in a really bad state, of course. So when I was closing my eyes, I couldn't go to sleep, and I got angry at myself because I wanted to go to sleep. Right? It's like sleep is like the best thing. You enter a different reality, and you just want to escape from your own. So you just want to go to bed, and I couldn't go to bed because I was thinking about this weird thing with like pins and needles. And it was like these sharp objects. I could envision the sharpness, but I felt it in my head.
Mm-hmm.
And there's like these sharp objects going into these circular soft objects, and the two soft objects would collide together and go. They morph together and they fucking explode in my head, and I got a sharp pain. It hurt so bad, and it was so real, because I was thinking. With ball consciousness, I was thinking about what I felt. So it was really, I just had a headache, but I somehow envisioned exactly what it would feel like to have that happen, like inside there. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That was like that's the worst feeling. Like I'll get fucking scared just thinking about it. It's like boom, and then you feel pain. You can't stop it.
Mm.
It's like in your head.
I want to try Wim Hof breathing while I'm that high.
And you're gonna pass out. And that's why I added you put on a persona because you're scared of making correlations through objects into something horrible.
Oh, and
awful.
I was very honest when I was that high.
Because
I was very, very honest. I was saying things that were...
So completely, the persona is scared,
Mm-hmm.
and when you're scared...
I said loss of individuality.
When you're scared, you just blur.
Uh-huh.
And... You start making these correlations to bad, negative things, because that's where correlations lead to death.
Mm-hmm.
And that's exactly what you said. But death is, as we see it, negative, as the brain sees it, negative. Otherwise, you would kill yourself, because your brain is really all the time just trying to protect you from death. And when you're in a high state of mind, you're kind of like still... Your brain is like, oh, I have to protect you. I have to protect you.
It's strange, though, because there is...
I have to be scared.
A will to die, too.
Right, but you still have to be scared, because that's what the fear
Mm-hmm.
is. If you didn't feel that fear, then you have a problem.
I mean, what is death if you never get to lament it?
Yeah, but some
It's
people...
a very intricate, interesting thing.
Some people, when they overdose, have no fear, and they just keep taking.
Another thing that I think played an element in it. I went to... The day before, I went to a meditation thing. So my step-grandmother kind of, she's a spiritual teacher.
Okay.
So she hosts these things, and I don't know exactly what type of like healing I went to, but it was like sounds and stuff, and she was singing and she was doing all this weird spiritual shit, and I meditated there it was like an hour-long meditation, and one of the visualizations that
When was this? Yesterday?
Yeah, was
Morning, I'm guessing.
late at night.
Oh, when you were high?
No. I did this. The day before that.
Friday.
Right. So, one of the things that they were doing when you're focusing on like your chakras or whatever is they tell you to imagine it as a ball. So they tell you to imagine a white ball above your crown, about like 5 feet above your crown.
Okay.
And as you inhale, imagine it coming into you, right, into where your heart is. And then as you breathe out, imagine it expanding as a flower. Right?
Okay.
And then you do one from the earth. You feel the earth beneath you.
Okay.
Feel the ball come into you. Feel it in your heart. Breathe out, let it expand. And each time it expands, let this image of the lotus flower fill up more and more space in your body.
So what it's doing is making me feel a little nervous because
But I think
because you slow your breathing down and you realize you self-consciously have a heart but you can't feel it, and then it starts to let you feel your own breathing and heartbeat and your rhythmic patterns.
But I
It's
felt
very interesting.
I felt my sort of consciousness in that like chakra, that ball,
Yeah.
right? That's sort of where I
I
think
hate
it came
balls.
from. That's where I think it came from.
Yeah. I mean, most guys don't like balls, but
You know why you hate
I
balls?
don't like balls.
You know why you hate balls? Because there really is no point.
that's really funny because there's no point on a ball. Okay.
Yeah.
You know why you don't like triangles?
Anyways, that's all I have to share.
There's no circle. Okay, well, I have something to share.
Oh, shit.
So you said Friday you meditated. So if you were meditating on Friday, went into a Saturday, I'm thinking it could have been even worse if you hadn't have been in the mind pattern you were in. Comprehenden?
Comprehenden.
So I don't know how to prove this, but if I'm gonna take an example for myself, that's the only way to prove it. So it's gonna get too close. It's not full volume. So this is gonna be a really bad example. Like I said, I wasn't prepared. I didn't come with a script. I don't come with a script like Logan Paul.
Damn, okay. Sure.
This is the best example I can come up with. It is a shitty example, but so about a month ago, I had a really anxiety-producing experience where I had to go get like the test done on my leg to see if they would need to take it out or not. Take the huge vein out. And I was like, okay, if they have to take it out, they have to take it out. And I kept telling myself that, and kind of manifesting that they have to take it out so that I can prepare for the worst. And when you meditate, it's kind of calming yourself down rather than amping yourself up. So it's kind of the reverse of everything I'm saying, which is why my example is kind of bad, but I can relate it back in. So anyways, I was getting hyped up. He comes over with the petroleum jelly. He rubs it on the leg. He goes in and sees what's wrong with it. He says, okay, you have 3 broken valves in your left leg vein. Okay. So they have to remove it. Okay. But he says you can live a healthy life. You just need it removed within the next 10 years. I said, okay, is it better to get it done now? Yeah, of course, because then my leg won't grow, and I can... Well, not my leg will grow, but it won't grow adapting to the vein, which makes the vein bigger. So, I guess it is what it is. So, but if I didn't manifest it being bad, and then was introduced into it being bad, it would have been way worse than... So what I'm trying to say is, if you hadn't meditated the day before and been in your realm of thinking, and you were in a normal person realm of thinking, say Sean Marr, who we had on, if he did that and took drugs like that, he wouldn't have a realization. He'd just take more and more and more, and that's the fear that I have for any of my friends who actually do try drugs, because they don't know what they're doing.
They don't have a philosopher's lens.
They don't have anything to back behind. They have nothing to relate off of.
That's why I preach purpose is so important when you have a lens through which to see things.
It helps you in tight case scenarios.
Like I was saying with
unexpectedness.
The music, right? How when I focused on the music and I could make it a beautiful world, when you have a lens, you can take this horrible experience and you can sort of mold it into beauty and love. That's what amor fati is.
Do you think the molding it is a way of thinking or a thought of way?
I think it's a will. I think it's fundamental that you have to.
It's a power or a gift.
You have to.
So it's a gift.
It's a gift.
Okay, I'll write that down for
You
later.
simply have to. There's no... That's why I think that the nature of, desiring to know is so interesting, because it's not even, and I was reading about this in Maps of Meaning, it's not even just a will to know. Like, you will know. And I suppose it's what they mean by will, but you just can't escape it. You simply have to form beliefs and opinions and thoughts. There's no way to exist without them. They constitute our very existence, our very reality. And that's just so interesting to me. I think that's the true will. The desire, the nature, the will to knowledge is the only true will. It's the only thing that's absolute. It's the overarching inverse Phareic truth of everything else. It precedes everything else.
I
Everything,
wanna hear your
every
opinion
other
now.
truth is predicated upon knowing in the first place. Fundamentals knowledge.
I can't give an opinion on this. Have you done vape before?
Yeah.
What do you think is... I don't want to say better. That's an awful word to use for drugs because they're not good. They're almost, like you said, something as an awakening and not to be done as a hobby. So I want to ask, what do you think gave you more of an experience? Vape or marijuana?
Marijuana.
Because it's natural. Nature.
By nature.
Yeah, so that's what I mean. But it's also more expensive for a reason. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And I think we can see that with everything. The more you pay, the better it is. That's just a common saying. So...
And you pay with your life to achieve wisdom.
Uh,
Because by nature,
that's the point I was going to
you
make. Right.
need to know.
That was the point I was going to make because if the more you time, effort, and acts you commit to something you love in your life, like I love playing guitar, so I'm trying to learn the best I can on that right now. The more you do that, and the more you manifest it, the better you get. You're gonna get better and better and better and better at it, and you're gonna learn how to do it more and more and more and more. So when you start doing something that's bad for you, it's really hard to get out of it. Really hard. So that's the fear with people taking... That's my fear with people taking drugs. Is when you start it, you want more and more and more until it's really become pointless where you're taking it every single day. And you're like, oh, I had a new experience. Like, okay, you had them every single day. Like,
Well,
okay.
then there's nothing special about them.
You could do it the same thing every single day by waking up. That's a new experience.
Mhm.
But the difference is minimal, is my point.
You know, what's interesting that I'm just now considering, life is very much fully retrospective, you know? Essence, everything that you know is pretty much predicated on what you know, which is
Yeah.
based upon your experiences and stuff. So I think about, we call them false sublimes. What it is going to mean retrospectively, that there's a more noble way to achieve that, for example, through meditation rather than taking drugs. Do you think that there's possibly, through more noble achievement, through things like purpose, through things like living your life fully out, rather than devotion to these momentary pleasures, constitutes, looking back, a more profound realization in the end of it all? I think it does.
I like that saying that it's almost like it's an instant gratification use of pursuing a new reality and using drugs, because it really is. Because right now you're not having those same thoughts, whereas if you were doing something you truly cared about and loved and didn't know, and it was teaching you something, you would still be able to do it right now without affecting any harm to others or inflicting any horrible thoughts upon yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, because like I said, I can't speak on something I've never done, but I can only give you the best advice for what I would do if I did. So I'd say, choose a different method other than doing drugs, because there is another method.
I concur.
But then it goes back to each their own, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. That's the conversation.
Unfortunately, we do need somebody to cook the burgers.
Yeah, we were having that conversation this morning when we all woke up. Jazz was talking about, actually, and I don't know if I should share this, but
Up to you.
she was talking about how when she's 20 she's gonna kill herself, or like when she's 20 she wanted to do that or something, right?
Okay.
And Lennox immediately was like, "What the fuck? That's so stupid. Don't you want to have like a family and shit?" Right? And it was kind of like, I don't know. I didn't think it was stupid at all. I thought that it was very much true and authentic. And if she truly believed it, I don't think there's anything wrong with suicide. I don't know if that's very, very controversial to say or not, because truly in my mind, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. If that's truly what you believe that you want to do, and that's the experience you want to constitute to your being,
For me, it's more of a pride thing. I would never kill myself. You need to
I would
take
never
me out.
either. But that's also personal, like you were saying, to each their
Yeah.
own.
Like I said, it's not my life to give nor take.
Mm.
Up to you completely. So if you want to commit suicide, listen, even if I love you as a friend, If you want to commit suicide, I can't stop you. I can persuade. I cannot inflect. I don't know. That's very interesting to even say, even to have that thought, right? You giving yourself a time frame basically to live is not your job. It feels wrong.
Yeah.
It feels like it wasn't desirable nor needed at all, and it feels like it was a want more than a true feeling. Because if it was a true emotion, you wouldn't wait. You wouldn't.
Yeah.
You would not. And I know.
I
people kill
mentioned
themselves.
that too.
You wouldn't wait. And I think Lennox is kind of right, but he's also kind of wrong because he's thinking.
I don't think he realizes how subjective that such a thing is.
He's thinking majority.
Mhm.
On an individual scale, when you're in that state of mind, you're not thinking about the future. Like I said, were you thinking about what you're gonna do today? No. When you were high, you were thinking about, whoa. Like,
I was thinking about the radiator and the sound it was making.
exactly. You're not thinking. You're not planning, because you're stuck in sequential order. So you're not planning for the next sequence of events. So that's perfectly fine. So, she's saying that.
Words are one thing, action is another.
Very true.
I think this is a good place to end it.
Completely up to you. I could keep going. I'm a big rambler.
I'm a big rambler too, and if we could keep going for.
We can make it 8 hours long. I don't even care. Marathon
If we had that much
podcasting.
time.
Yeah, if my phone could last that charge of a battery. Speaking of that, it might actually already be dead.
Alright. Thank y'all for watching. Love you.
Hope you could learn something. Hope you could look upon yourself and realize what you've done right and what you've done wrong, as I do every single morning. And I realize that a lot of stuff I do wrong, and there's only to be better. Everything is a learning experience.
Go take 1,500 milligrams of marijuana and rip the pen. Trust me, it's life changing.
Advil's better. You don't want to feel your body? Take 1,200.